bipartisan behavior, including the long tradition of a motion to recommit, a long tradition of amendments and opportunities for ideas to be exchanged on and off the dais, has broken down. So I do think it's important that we turn to recognizing an effort made 100 years ago at a time in which members of Congress, House, Senate, Republican, Democrat, went to dinner together at each other's homes. Their children played together. They, in fact, lived here in Washington. Living here in Washington has become sort of a term for misconduct. The idea that you would come and that you would work with 434 of your colleagues to make a better America, that you would walk across the Capitol and work with 100 senators to make a better America, seems to have fallen out of favor. Today, unfortunately, we spend a lot of time meeting in our conferences on a partisan basis. In those conferences, we ask, well, how can we beat them? How can we beat them now? How can we beat them in the election? We should be asking, how do we work together for a better government and a better America? So I hope that the efforts of this club, which have been long, hard, and successful in many, many ways, certainly in bringing our spouses together, certainly in activities for the community, will be a starting point today for us looking across the aisle and asking, why is it that we're afraid to have dinner together? Why is it that our meetings are Republicans with Republicans and Democrats with Democrats? We need to work together. We have big problems in America today. Some of them are obvious to Americans. We talk of the war and we talk of gas prices. We even talk of the Pelosi premium. Well, I believe it's a Pelosi premium, but it's a premium built on years of other people's mistakes and other people's watches. So today, I use the opportunity given to me to talk about this important bipartisan resolution to say, let's solve gas and oil problems on a bipartisan basis. Let's deal with the challenges we face in Iraq and Afghanistan on a bipartisan basis. Let's deal with the immigration reform challenge on a bipartisan basis. And most of all, let's make sure that America's next 100 years is 100 years of success in competing worldwide. We can do this if we do it on a bipartisan basis. 100 years ago, mostly women worked tirelessly to form an organization to help us do just that. Let's commit ourselves to doing just that today. With that, I would yield back the balance of my time and urge support.
The gentleman yields back the balance of his time. The gentlewoman from California.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. For its rich history and ongoing traditions, I hope that we could come together as a body representing Americans far and wide, and in good humor and following the procedures of this House, that we join together in recognizing the 100th anniversary of the Congressional Club. They do stand for bipartisanship. They do stand for working together. We indeed can eat together as fellows, friends, partners in making policy. And so let's use the example of this Congressional Club by agreeing to pass H.Res. 1026. I reserve the balance of my time. And I'd like to yield the remaining time to the man from Missouri, the Honorable Ike Skelton.
The gentleman from Missouri is recognized for the remaining.
I certainly thank the gentlelady from California for her addition and leadership on this bill, as well as my friend from Georgia, Mr. Bishop, for sponsoring it. It's with a great deal of understanding, as well as a bit of nostalgia, that I speak in favor of this resolution. I know full well of the bipartisanship of which my friends from California speak. I know full well of the work that this Congressional Club has done over now that I've witnessed, it's nearly 32 years. I know of the friendships both Democrat and Republican, that have been formed and have been forged together that will last a lifetime. I know and I hope this body will fully recognize the fact that this Congressional Club has set forth the real standard on understanding one another in this body in the full spirit of bipartisanship. It was my late wife, Susie, who had the honor to serve as the treasurer of this Congressional Club in 1983 and 1984, and again as president of the club in 1987 and 1988. And should be a note that our colleague from California, Doris Matsui, served as an officer in the club simultaneously with my late wife, Susie. It's an excellent resolution for an excellent organization, and I hope the next 100 years will see the same effort in friendship and bipartisanship reign as it has in the past. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back his time. The gentlelady from California.
Thank you.
I reserve my time.
The gentleman from California has yielded back his time. Do you have any other speakers?
I yield back my time.
The gentlelady yields back her time. All time is yielded back. The question is, will the House suspend the rules and agree to House Resolution 1026? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, two-thirds being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The gentleman from California.
Mr. Speaker, I object to the vote on the grounds that a quorum is not present, and I make a point of order that a quorum is not present.
Well, pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20 and the chair's prior announcement, further proceedings on this motion will be postponed. Woman from California, rise.